In the shadowy world of military aviation, few aircraft carry the mystique, secrecy, and revolutionary design of the F-117 Nighthawk. Known to the public as the stealth fighter, it was neither the fastest nor the most heavily armed jet of its era, yet it became one of the most iconic symbols of modern air warfare. The story of the Nighthawk is one of innovation, secrecy, and daring missions that changed the way wars were fought. The origins of the Nighthawk began in the late 1970s, during a time when the Cold War dominated global strategy. The United States Air Force sought a solution to a pressing problem: how to strike heavily defended targets in enemy territory without being detected by radar. Traditional aircraft, no matter how fast or high-flying, were vulnerable to increasingly sophisticated air defense systems. The answer, they realized, was not speed or armor, but invisibility. If an aircraft could simply avoid detection, it could strike anywhere, anytime, with minimal risk. Engineers and designers at Lockheed Skunk Works, led by the legendary Kelly Johnson, worked in extreme secrecy. Every design choice was dictated by the principle of radar evasion. The resulting design looked alien, almost robotic, with a distinctive wedge-shaped fuselage and canted tail fins. It was not meant to be beautiful, it was meant to vanish. The technological innovations of the Nighthawk were revolutionary. Its surfaces were coated with radar-absorbent materials that further reduced its radar signature. Every edge, angle, and surface was meticulously calculated to make it appear almost invisible to enemy radar systems. The engines were buried deep inside the fuselage, and the exhaust was shielded to reduce infrared visibility. Inside the cockpit, pilots relied on advanced avionics and computerized navigation systems to fly a plane that, by conventional aerodynamics, should have been unstable. In fact, the Nighthawk required constant computer-assisted control, making it one of the first aircraft to depend so heavily on fly-by-wire technology. Despite its futuristic design, the Nighthawk's development was fraught with skepticism and secrecy. Many military officials doubted whether a stealth aircraft could perform in combat. The project was officially classified, and for years, the public and even much of the Air Force did not know it existed. Pilots assigned to the Nighthawk trained in remote areas, often at night, flying low over the Nevada desert from the clandestine base known as Tonopah Test Range Airport. Their missions were highly restricted, their work shrouded in secrecy. Even today, the Nighthawk's early operations are surrounded by stories of hush-hush flights and unconfirmed sightings. The Nighthawk officially entered service in 1983, though it would take years before it was publicly acknowledged. Its presence was a secret weapon in the United States arsenal, an aircraft capable of penetrating heavily defended airspace with near impunity. While it could carry only a modest payload compared to conventional bombers, it could deliver precision strikes against critical targets that no other aircraft could reach. In essence, the Nighthawk transformed the very concept of air warfare. It proved that invisibility could be more powerful than brute force. The first true test of the Nighthawk came in combat during Operation Just Cause in Panama in 1989, when the US sought to remove Manuel Noriega from power. The Nighthawk flew low-level strikes under the cover of night, demonstrating its ability to evade radar and deliver precise strikes against military targets with unprecedented accuracy. While the scale of the Panama operation was limited, it offered a glimpse of the potential of stealth technology, and it established the Nighthawk as more than just an experimental prototype. However, it was during the Gulf War of 1991 that the Nighthawk would make its mark on history. Iraq, under Saddam Hussein, had invested heavily in radar and surface-to-air missile systems designed to deny airspace to attacking forces. Conventional aircraft risked catastrophic losses. The United States, however, had a secret weapon. In the opening hours of the air campaign, Nighthawks were sent on a series of highly classified nighttime raids against Baghdad and other key Iraqi targets. Their targets included command and control centers, air defense installations, and strategic infrastructure. Flying hundreds of miles through enemy territory, the Nighthawk struck with deadly precision. radar operators in Iraq watched in confusion as aircraft simply seemed to vanish from their screens. For weeks, Nighthawks flew almost unchallenged, shaping the air campaign and paving the way for coalition forces. The success of the Nighthawk in the Gulf War cemented its reputation. Despite its relatively small numbers, fewer than 60 were ever built, it became a symbol of technological superiority. Pilots reported that the aircraft's stealth capabilities made them almost untouchable in heavily defended airspace. Its ability to deliver precision-guided munitions changed the concept of surgical strikes, emphasizing that air power could now achieve strategic objectives with minimal collateral damage. Yet even at the height of its fame, the Nighthawk remained mysterious. Journalists, analysts, and the public speculated about its design, capabilities, and role in future conflicts. No story about the Nighthawk would be complete without acknowledging its vulnerability. On March 27, 1999, during the NATO bombing of Yugoslavia in Operation Allied Force, a Nighthawk was shot down over Serbia by a surface-to-air missile. It was a shocking moment. The world realized that even stealth technology was not invincible. The aircraft, flown by Lieutenant Colonel Dale Zelko, had been detected and tracked by radar operators using older, low-frequency systems. Fortunately, the pilot ejected safely, but the incident revealed the limitations of stealth and prompted a re-evaluation of tactics and countermeasures. It was a humbling reminder that no technology, no matter how advanced, could guarantee absolute protection. Despite this setback, the Nighthawk continued to serve as a cornerstone of U.S. strategic air power. Its missions became increasingly sophisticated, combining stealth with precision targeting in conflicts around the globe. The aircraft participated in operations in Iraq, Bosnia, and other hotspots, often striking at night when the advantages of invisibility were greatest. It was a plane built for a specific purpose: to strike unseen, to hit with surgical accuracy, and to redefine the possibilities of aerial combat. By the early 2000s, however, the Nighthawk had begun to show its age. Advances in radar technology, infrared detection, and air defense systems were narrowing the gap between stealth and vulnerability. The United States Air Force began to phase in newer, more versatile aircraft, including the F-117 Raptor, which combined stealth with air superiority and supersonic speed. The principles pioneered by the Nighthawk continue to define air combat, demonstrating that in the world of warplanes, innovation can be as powerful as speed or firepower. In the end, the Nighthawk story is a reminder that the skies are not just a place for machines, but for ideas. It is a tale of secrecy, daring, and the pursuit of the impossible, a story that continues to inspire pilots, engineers, and aviation enthusiasts around the world. The F-117 Nighthawk was not just a plane. It was a revolution in the night sky, an invisible warrior. Thank you for watching. Each aircraft tells a story of innovation, courage, and sacrifice. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us again as we explore the machines that ruled the skies. This is Skies of War, where every plane has a legacy and every flight tells a story.